So now I'm in VS Code, Visual Studio Code, which is my editor of choice, but feel free to use any editor that you prefer. In VS Code, I have an integrated terminal, and that's what I'll use to run some of the commands, and then we'll edit some of the files that we create. So before we get started, make sure that you have Git installed, Node, and Docker, because that is what we will need for this particular section of the module. And then in this part, I've already cloned the loss to follow up sample code. And then in here, we'll just create a new mediator. So just a quick walkthrough of what is contained here on the left-hand side. You'll see we have some folders. So I'll go through the main ones. So this contains some GitHub related code, for example, for GitHub Actions. Husky is something that we use for our commit formatting. And then we have this folder that contains the config for the CHT instance that we run locally. And then configurator is a small service that we use to configure or OpenHIM so when it's deployed. And then we have some Docker-related files. For example, this one goes through Docker, it creates like the service for the mediator, and then it says it on the network. We won't go through all of them, just the main ones. And then some documentation, some Kubernetes for running in production. And then here we have our actual mediator, and we'll create something similar to this. So I won't go through all of this, but after this module, you should be familiar with what is going on in this particular folder. So we'll create a new folder and call it maybe simple mediator, and then build our new mediator from there. So I'll make a new directory and call or folder, depending on your operating system, you might call it differently. And I'll call it simple mediator like that. And then I want to go into that directory. Okay, now that we've created that, we'll run npm init. And then, yeah, so our package name, we'll call it simple mediator. Okay, we need to call it mediator like that. Yeah, that is our version 1.00. We want to add a description for now. Entry point as index.js is fine. We'll skip the test for now because there's a different module for testing. And then we'll skip that. And the author, you can feel free to put in your name with email address there. And then the license, and yeah, that seems fine. So you'll notice that now we have a package.json file with all the commands, with all the variables that we set in. So this is how it looks now. And then we'll need to install some packages so that we are able to have this running. So we'll type in npm install, and then we'll need Express, which is a web server based on Node.js, and then we'll use body parser as well, which helps us like handle the incoming requests, like in the body of the HTML requests. And then we'll add one more, which is OpenHIM, and then mediator utils. And this one basically helps us. It's a utility package for OpenHIM and registering our new mediator. And then we want to save this. So this might take some time. So I'll pause here. Feel free to pause the video as everything installs. Now everything installed, you should see something like this on your terminal. And then I'll close this so that we focus on the package.json. So here we'll say that we now have 3 dependencies, which is what we've just added. And then now we have a new folder called node modules. And yeah, we want to talk about that for now. So in here, you want to create a new file, and we'll call it index.js. And then now we'll write the Express code to handle incoming requests, and then make sure we have a pass-through mediator. We'll now create our Express server. So feel free to pause and copy this code at your own pace. I'll go a bit fast with the autocomplete that I have here. Let's just find body parser and then don't get. So what we're doing here, basically we're setting up this first line sets up the Express server, and then we're registering an app, and then the body parser, and then now we're saying for all requests that come into this, all get requests, we just want to send back hello world, and then we tell the app to listen on 3000, I think is fine. Yeah, and then here we'll call this our simple mediator app. Let's name on port 3000. Good. I have some syntax errors. Let's see if we can fix those. There we go. Cool. And then now we'll run this. Okay. So now if we go to our terminal, I can get to the terminal just by pulling up from the bottom there. And then we run node with the dot. Now you see now it says here, simple mediator app running on port 3000, which is what we set. And if you go to your browser, you get back the hello world, which is what we are sending back from here. So now what we'll do is we will use the OpenHIM mediator utils to register the mediator, and then I will go see how that looks on the console once we register the mediator, and then send through requests to OpenHIM.